and Celia Zavala, the Executive Officer for the Board of Supervisors. And all of you, of course, for being here today, and all of you online who are watching this. We know that this is a small council chamber, so not everybody could be here in person, but it's a great event. And you see by all the diversity of the people that we have here, only someone like Jeff Prang can bring all of these people together. He is well loved. Without further ado, let's bring him out. Jeffrey Prang and his husband, Raymond Viscusa. Yeah, we'll get this started. I know people have places to go and things to do. And back there, Jeff promised us at the end of all of this, after his 45-minute speech, you will finally know, you will finally, once and for all, know exactly what the county assessor does. Right? He's not the tax man. That's what he wants you to know. He's not the tax man. Let's start with the invocation. And I want to introduce Pastor Shane Scott. He is the senior pastor of Macedonia Baptist Church in Los Angeles. Reverend Scott is an advisor, coach, a small business owner, and a senior pastor at Macedonia Baptist Church, a 112-year-old historic landmark in Los Angeles. He has been serving the Watts community since his arrival in 2011 from Fresno. Under his leadership and vision, the church has increased its membership and become a strong voice for the advancement of social justice and transforming the quality of life for its community. He was raised by a single mother who worked 3 jobs to provide for her family. During his childhood, his mother helped him on his paper route. She didn't have a car, so they would carry as many newspapers as they could fit into their arms and deliver them. When they ran out, they would return and get more papers until the route was complete. He became convicted that poverty was not going to be his lot in life and was determined to create a better life for himself. And in talking to him back there, all the amazing stuff that he does for his church, he wants to make a better life for other people too. So please welcome Pastor Shane Scott.
Thank you. Shall we pray? Oh God, we've come today first to say thank you for such a blessed privilege to be a part of a strong democracy. God, we thank you for servant leaders like Jeff Prang. We thank you for his willingness to invest in equality and to disseminate inequities. God, we pray that as he begins this second term, that you would fill him with wisdom. God, you would give him vision. God, that as he seeks to serve, that the advancement and the betterment of people would be his main agenda. God, I pray now for his staff. I pray for his advisors. And then most of all, God, I pray for his family. God, keep them safe, keep them healthy, and then God, keep them inspired to do the work of justice. It is certainly in your name we pray. Amen.
Next part of the program, I'd like to introduce Bernadette Advincula to help us out with this next portion. She is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the General Federation of Women's Clubs Metropolitan Los Angeles chapter. She was raised in Manila, Philippines, and graduated from San Juan de Dios College with a bachelor's degree in medical technology. After graduating, she moved to the United States and continued her career as a scientist, microbiologist for a pharmaceutical company based in Napa. Bernadette is the current president and founding president of the General Federation of Women's Clubs Metropolitan Los Angeles. This is a nonprofit which has a mission of philanthropy and volunteer service. She's a realtor of more than 30 years and involved with the Good Shepherd Church, Beverly Hills, where she's one of the ministry leaders and also a member of the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce, as well as the leadership team with the LA New Millennium Lions Club. This unique journey, she says, has led her to where she is today. Bernadette, come here and help us out here this morning. Bernadette's going to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So will you please stand? While we're standing, we also want to welcome the Monterey Park Police Department Honor Guard to post the colors.
Honor guard. Hold. Left. Face. Honor guard. Present. Arms.
Place your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Bernadette, why don't you just stand next to me here while we introduce the trombone quartet from the USC Thornton School of Music. It is led by Raimundo Vizcarra. Of course, Jeff's husband. They'll perform the national anthem. The USC's Thornton School of Music.
Honor guard. Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. Right. Left. 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 Right. Left.
Please be seated.
Honor guard. Hold. Honor guard, prepare to post colors. Post colors. Honor guard, present arms. Order arms. Right, face. Guard, march. Left, left, right. Left, right.
I guess I jumped the gun there. I was in the military. I should have known. And thank you again to the USC Thornton School of Music, that trombone quartet, really amazing. For our welcoming marks, we want to introduce the Honorable Henry Lowe, the mayor of the city of Monterey Park. Beautiful chambers here, as I've been saying. Monterey Park Mayor Henry Lowe's history of public service spans over 20 years. From 2003 to 2020, he served on the Garvey Elementary School District Board of Education. Henry's leadership also helped develop an academic partnership between the Garvey Elementary School District and East Los Angeles College. Between 2016 and 2020, Henry was appointed member of the City of Monterey Park Economic Development Advisory Commission. Mayor Lowe has served as staff for several state legislators, including State Senator Dr. Gloria Romero, State Assembly Member Mike Eng, and State Assembly Member Ed Chow. Henry is the son of working class immigrants who came to California seeking the American dream. He grew up as a latchkey kid while both his parents worked, and was the first family in his family to attend college. Henry received his Bachelor of Arts degree in government from Colby College and a Master in Public Administration degree from California State University, Northridge. He was elected to the Monterey Park City Council in March of 2020 and was selected mayor last year by his colleagues on the City Council. Please welcome Mayor Lowe.
Well, hello, and welcome to the City of Monterey Park. We are so pleased to be host for our County Assessor Jeff Prang oath of office. Welcome to our fair city. Just yesterday evening, in this very chamber, we held our own oath of office ceremony for incoming council members and citywide officers, as well as recognizing those who served with distinction for our city and our community on the council and citywide offices. And Assessor Prang was there to congratulate the incoming and outgoing officers. Certainly, Monterey Park and San Gabriel Valley are no strangers to Jeff. He is one of the most visible, most hardworking elected officials out there, and we are so pleased that he is our county assessor. For myself personally, I have benefited from Jeff's mentorship over the years, and that's something you'll always remember about Jeff. He, despite his busy schedule, running one of the largest agencies in the United States, he is always willing to take the time to talk to you, to find out what are issues that motivate you, and to share his experiences, be it as a council member, advisor to many of our county elected officials, his personal life. And I count Jeff as a role model, which I think many of us in this room can attest to. Many of us are grateful to call Jeff and his husband Ray friend. When Assessor Prang took over the office of the assessor in 2014, the largest agency of its kind in the nation, he implemented sweeping reforms to ensure the office would adhere to strictest ethical guidelines rooted in fairness, accuracy, and the utmost integrity. These policies are now in place for whomever will occupy the office in the future. And you have to understand, for anyone to take charge of an agency that has more than 1,300 employees and be able to enact substantive changes, such as the Assessor's Modernization Project program, which Jeff created and is in its final stages, it requires bold, smart leadership. And that is where, in LA County, we are so fortunate, so blessed to have Jeff Prang at the helm of the Assessor's office. Under Assessor Prang's leadership, in 2022, the assessment roll for LA County came in a whopping $1.89 trillion. That's what. That amounts to $19 billion for vital public services such as police, fire, infrastructure, and hospital. Under Jeff Prang's leadership as assessor, the Board of Equalization, in its recently released audit, gave this assessor's office a nearly perfect score for overall performance. In addition, during the pandemic, during the past few years, as our communities have struggled and tried to remain resilient, Assessor Prang's efforts also resulted in about $660 million in direct savings through exemptions as well as substantial exclusions from reassessments for families and seniors. Monterey Park and all of LA County welcomes Jeff Prang as he begins his historic third term, and we know that we will continue to thrive as a region under his capable leadership. Congratulations.
Okay, our next speaker likely needs very little introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. And she's done so much, right? This is like a half page of her CV. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're the brand new Madam Chair. We have to honor you. Supervisor Janice Hahn represents the 4th Supervisal District, which is the home to 2 million people. The district covers 411.05 square miles. It stretches from Torrance to Palos Verdes through Long Beach and the Gateway cities. Born and raised in LA, Janice has followed in the footsteps of her father, the legendary LA County Supervisor Kenny Hahn, throughout every step of her public career. Now in her second term in office, Supervisor Hahn has invested billions of dollars into building affordable public housing, improving public parks, renovating local libraries, and more, all while securing the funding necessary to build a series of ambitious transportation projects aimed at easing congestion and revolutionizing the way residents get around. Supervisor Hahn began her career as a teacher. She then went on to serve on the LA Charter Reform Commission, as well as the City Council representing the 15th District. After serving in local government, Supervisor Hahn was elected to Congress, first representing California's old 36th District and then the 44th District after redistricting. This year, Supervisor Hahn serves as chair of the County of the Board of Supervisors. That's kind of cool. She currently lives in San Pedro and enjoys spending time with her 5 grandchildren. You have to be the coolest grandma. Please welcome Supervisor Janice Hahn, the new chair of the LA County Board of Supervisors.
I'd like to start my remarks with a land acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge the First Peoples of this unceded land, which we occupy currently. With respect to their elders, past and present, we recognize the Chumash, the Quiche, the Serrano, the Tataviam, the Tongva as the original stewards of this land, air, and water, and provide our support as they continue to lift up their stories and cultures. Well, hello to everyone, all the mayors who are here, all the elected officials who are here. Certainly great to have our district attorney, George Gascon, here. Our chief of the LA County Fire Department, Tony Maroney, is here. And I was really glad to see Ruth Galander and Jan Perry here as well. When I was on the City Council of Los Angeles, I had the honor of serving with both those women for a few years. So it's great to see both of you here today. Congratulations, Jeff. Thank you to the voters of Los Angeles County for once again re-electing such a competent and successful assessor. Yes. county assessor may be the most important job in the county. In fact, my family has kind of a relationship with the assessor's office. My uncle Gordon Hahn actually ran for assessor in 1986, but lost to Assessor John Lynch. But then in 1990, a man came along who had great name ID. His name was Kenneth P. Hahn. And he ran and won as county assessor and was there for 10 years. And he always gave credit to the original Kenneth Hahn for the help. You know, our government and all the services and resources we provide are only made possible by the assessor. He brings in the money and the rest of us spend it. Often the assessor is the kind of role that flies under the radar in LA County and enjoys a certain amount of anonymity, but not for Jeff. Jeff Prang is everywhere. He is at community events. He is at swearing-ins. He's holding workshops. He traverses the entire county of Los Angeles, and he's made it a point to make himself visible and approachable. And I do think he's the most accessible assessor we have ever had in Los Angeles County. And at the same time, he and his team have been hard at work modernizing our assessor's office and painstakingly converting paper documents into more accessible and practical digital files. For a county of this size, that is a daunting feat, but is one that will benefit the assessor's office and the property owners of LA County for decades to come. Jeff, I know your job hasn't been made easy. The voters threw you a curveball in 2020 with the passage of Prop 19, a proposition that was riddled with ambiguities and contradictions, and which your office even had to author legislation to try to fix. The whole debacle has put stress on your office's resources and has created delays for taxpayers. But through it all, you've shown incredible leadership, keeping taxpayers informed, being upfront and honest about the challenges you faced and how you were addressing them. And that's why the voters respect you and sent you back to this most important office. I, for one, am grateful to have you in the county family. You are so committed, not only to the taxpayers you work for, but for the 1,400 county employees who work for you. You are a constant advocate for the resources and funding that your employees and your department need. He comes before the Board of Supervisors every time we do budget and in between, asking us to give his office more money. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I just want you to know, he asks. So on behalf of my colleagues on the County Board of Supervisors, congratulations on your reelection. And a shout out to Ray, your talented husband. You two are always there for each other and so supportive of each other. This victory belongs to you as well, Ray. And unbeknownst to me, Supervisor Hilda Solis ordered a scroll that we all signed today. So I get the honor of presenting to you Jeffrey Prang on behalf of the entire county of Los Angeles and the 5 women who are on the Board of Supervisors. Congratulations and best wishes. I know. Yeah, this might be, I know, right? That might be a collector's item.
And now to the moment that we're here for, which is the oath of office. To help us with that, I want to introduce Dr. Susie Abajian. She is the newly elected Glendale City Clerk. She is a former South Pasadena School Board President, a career educator with 24 years of experience in fields of K-12 and higher education. She has taught and provided administrative leadership in diverse school districts and higher educational institutions across LA and Orange counties. In 2018, Dr. Abajian was named Congressional Woman of the Year by U.S. Representative Judy Chu. And sitting back there also and speaking and learning a little bit more about her story, she came here to this country as a 12-year-old from Syria, did not speak a lick of English. She now speaks at least 4 languages and has led a life of public service. Again, the new city clerk for the city of Glendale. Dr. Abajian.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I wanted to say a few words before I invite Assessor Prang to take his oath of office. As the city clerk of Glendale and as a mathematician, I have deep appreciation for the work of the Office of the County Assessor and its essential role in ensuring fairness, accuracy, access, and efficiency in governmental processes while delivering exceptional service to the public. Assessor Prang has been a dedicated and resilient public servant for many, many years. He has worked tirelessly to modernize systems to implement efficiencies, increase accessibility, and ensure public trust in the office of the county assessor. I appreciate Assessor Prang's accessibility. He's always out in the community, listening to the concerns of the public, building relationships, and I'm truly honored that he asked me to swear him in today. And now I would like to invite him up to take his oath of office. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jeffrey Prang,
During such times as I hold the office of
during such times as I hold the office of
the assessor
the assessor
of the County of Los Angeles,
of the County of Los Angeles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
California,
the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be seated. So now it is time to add a little bit of excitement to these proceedings in a way that can only be delivered by the county property tax assessor. There are opportunities for other public officials who would do better, but the mosquito commissioner, I understand, is not available. Many of you have seen me speak a lot of times and know that that's one of my stupid assessor jokes, but there's only like 3 of them, so I have to use them over and over again. But thank you so much, Dr. Abajian. I'm so honored that you were able to participate in today's ceremony. During your time in office, you've exemplified public service at the highest level, and I believe the city of Glendale is better for your service as city clerk. Thank you. And Pastor Scott, thank you for the inspiring invocation and for your friendship over the years. I met you very early in my on this journey, As assessor, your vision for your congregation and the surrounding communities continues to uplift our spirits and transform lives and inspire me. Thank you. And Mayor Lowe, and to the rest of the good folks here at the City of Monterey Park, thank you very much for inviting us and welcoming us into your chambers. I thank you for your hospitality. We're really delighted to be here today and I appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much. And Madam Chair, thank you for once again taking the time to be with me for my installation. Supervisor Hahn has worked tirelessly to defend and invest in her district and continue the historical legacy that was set by her father. Supervisor, you have inspired generations of leaders, including me, and our new supervisor, Lindsay Horvath, my former colleague on the West Hollywood City Council, I know will join with you in continuing this grand tradition of public service and lead with integrity and compassion. And of course, I cannot forget my dear friend of many years, my former, I guess he's a former constituent, but I guess he's still my constituent, Bob DeCastro. Thank you for serving as MC today. If you ever watch Channel 11, you will know that Bob is an outstanding broadcast journalist, and I appreciate you finding time from your very busy schedule to share some of your time with me today. Whenever there's a milestone such as this one, it's not only cause for celebration, it's a cause for reflection. As I prepared today, I've been reflecting on what has been over 25 years as an elected official and over 30 years in government. It's kind of funny, actually, because my first race for public office, most of you probably don't know, it was an absolute disaster. I was defeated in my race for city council in my hometown of Warren, Michigan, when I was 19 years old. I think I came in 21 out of 30 candidates. But sometimes running and losing is not really losing at all, because you learn so much on a campaign. And that was an invaluable experience that has served as a foundation for over 30 years of public service and leading me here to today, where I have been elected to a third term as your LA County Assessor. There was a bit of a hesitation there from the term. I presume that's the term limit, folks. But as many of you know, I spend a majority of my time attempting to educate the public about my office and how to navigate the complex and oftentimes arcane property tax system, which is not exactly the most exciting venue of public service. I always have this little joke I tell. People always come to me with their tax bills. And I say, I don't do taxes. I don't collect taxes. The guy who collects taxes, he's got a really intuitive title. He's called the tax collector. Is Keith Knox here? He's probably pleased that people think that's me, then I get all the complaints and he's freed from that. But frequently when we begin talking about some of the things that we do in our office, eyes begin to glaze over when I start discussing things such as base year values, possessory interest taxation, or the intricacies of irrevocable trusts. And I see that I'm losing some of you already. However, more seriously, serving in this position has been the honor of a lifetime, to be entrusted with this incredible responsibility. And I am humbled to be here once again to renew my commitment to serve this great county of Los Angeles and continue the work that I first embarked upon in 2014. I'm often asked what it's like being the county assessor. And I have to say, in all candor, it's the best job I've ever had. Yeah. I want to say a few more thanks and acknowledgement for some of those people who play such an important role in my life, beginning with my husband, Ray, who you've heard. You just heard him and his colleagues from USC. Ray is working on his PhD, or as they say in the musical world, Doctor of Musical Arts at USC in music performance, and he brought his colleagues with him to provide some entertainment for us today. And I don't know about you, but hearing a brass quartet play the national anthem is kind of, it chills the spine, doesn't it? And Ray, I imagine that it's not easy to share your husband with over 10 million residents. And I can't thank you enough for your constant support and encouragement and to allow me to do this work that I love so much. You never hesitate to join with me on this journey, and I can't wait to see what our future holds together. I want to thank members of my family who are here today. Actually, a little short list today, but my niece, Jay Prang, and her partner, Andrew Pearson, are here in the front row. And I didn't know she was coming here, but my cousin from the great city of Beverly Hills, Lillian Raffel. I also just want to take a moment to acknowledge my father, Don Prang. My father passed away in September and has left an empty chair at the family table that's difficult to fill. My dad was a source of inspiration, strength, and stability for my family, and helped to shape the core of my values and beliefs, for which I believe has made me a better public official. And how I wish that my mother could be here as well, but sadly, as has impacted so many other families, Alzheimer's has robbed us of such opportunities, but I want to do a shout out to my mother. To all of those who supported my campaign with your time, your resources, endorsements, your guidance, and in particular, your votes, I am deeply grateful that you entrusted me to continue this very important work. I must admit that I've never been the biggest fan of campaigning, at least not at the county level, which mostly consists of calling people and begging for money. But because of you, we now have the opportunity to continue the important work that we began 8 years ago and to continue to create an assessor's office to meet the demands of the 21st century. It's difficult at times to comprehend the sheer size of our county. More people live in Los Angeles County than live in the state of Michigan, my home state. As assessor, I travel from Lancaster to Long Beach, from Claremont to Calabasas, and I've worked hard to be in each and every one of those cities and everything in between as often as I can. George and I and the sheriff, we represent more people than 42 governors. And you can't imagine the challenge we have trying to get voters excited about property assessment. As I've said, it's a little hard to create excitement and support when voters think I'm coming to collect their property taxes, even though I don't. I was trying to think of some substantive things I want to talk about. I thought maybe you would really like to hear some excerpts from the Revenue and Taxation Code. But I'll spare you this one. But I do want to. I know that none of you signed up for a history lesson when you arrived here today, but let's be honest, it's me, and you must have expected it. So the history of property tax assessment is ancient, literally. The earliest known tax rate records dating from approximately 6000 BC in the form of clay tablets found in modern-day Iraq. My ancient counterparts would focus on one area of a city, assessing and taxing one area each month until the entire city was assessed and residents had made their determined payments. Some of you may remember the story from LA City Controller Ron Gelperin told at my 2014 installation when he talked about when the Pharaoh of ancient Egypt died, he was actually buried with all of his retainers alive, except for one. the assessor, because the new pharaoh wanted to know where all the money was and wanted to keep the assessor around. In Boston, up until 1733, the sheriff was the ex officio assessor and tax collector. In fact, Ray and I own a small rental home in Kentucky. Don't ask why. But we pay our property taxes to the county sheriff. One of my favorite stories concerns our second president, John Adams, who was greatly concerned that war with France was imminent. He required $2 million in revenue to pay for an army to resist the French, and as a result, Congress enacted a national property tax apportionment based on population. The tax became known as the window tax because assessors were to assess real estate according to the number and size of the windows and doors of each house, in addition to the land tax. However, the German settlers of Pennsylvania were outraged because it reminded them of the very much hated hearth tax in Germany. I guess you got taxed based on the number of fireplaces you had. There was a man named John Fries who became the leader of the tax protesters, and small bands were formed to search for federal assessors who were coming out to count and measure windows. Those bands intimidated, beat up, and ran assessors off to the county line. In one case, 3 assessors were captured and brought to a local tavern and held hostage against their will until John Fries negotiated their release. When the news of the rebellion reached President Adams, he sent troops to arrest John Fries, who was captured and convicted on various charges, including hindering assessors in their duties. Does anybody know what happened to John Fries? Well, let me tell you. He was sentenced to death. I share this with you to stress how important it is to be nice to your county assessor. Seriously. Yeah. I think Councilmember Steve Ty tried to detain me one time in Diamond Bar, but seriously, the modern property tax system is rooted in very rich history, and I'm honored to be a part of it as we move forward into the future. And when I set out to do this work 8 years ago, I understood that I was inheriting an office that was embroiled in scandal, and that our operations were in fact very similar, if not the same, as the ancient Babylonians I mentioned earlier. It took years of dedication to reestablish public trust and to redefine this office as one in which the public could have confidence, which in a political landscape was left tarnished by my predecessor, and doing that work was no easy task. Today, however, our office stands as the nation's premier assessment agency, thanks to our commitment to outstanding service and innovative initiatives. Not only do we continue to value over 2.5 million real estate parcels and business assessments, but we do so in a way that is most effective and fair, thanks to major updates in technology and reimagined processes. I am pleased to report that our multi-year assessors modernization project is near completion. This is a transformative technology project where we have successfully migrated our operations from a paper-based, legacy-based mainframe environment to a cloud-based infrastructure, bringing unimagined improvements to public service and to our internal operations. We have worked really hard to detangle the administrative mess that Supervisor Hahn referred to with Proposition 19. Oftentimes, as we all know, the legislature comes up with brilliant ideas, but they don't do anything to support us in implementing it. And this 2020 ballot measure was poorly written, making implementation a nightmare. It created significant impacts for members of the public, but we have rose to the challenge. The backlogs will soon be under control, and it will soon operate under the intent that the legislators had. We will help to fill in all those gaps to make sure it works. We've established new efficiencies that have reduced the number of assessment appeals, ensuring that property owners receive a fair and expedient resolution to their disputes. And because everybody wants to save money on their taxes, our public education and outreach efforts have helped property owners save millions, approximately $650 million in 2022 alone, through various exemptions and exclusions. Needless to say, we've been really busy. I want to take just a moment to recognize and to thank the incredible and talented staff of the Assessor's Office. for their commitment to LA County. My executive team keeps the office running on time and within budget, and has created an atmosphere where staff feel good and united in the mission that we strive for. They're also my trusted friends, and truthfully, I cannot do this job without their continual expertise, guidance, and support. And I applaud each and every one of the more than 1,300 employees in the assessor's office. I am. If I may, if you work for the assessor's office, could you please stand? Many of them are already standing because they don't have chairs. But I am deeply grateful for their hard work, the long hours, the patience in dealing with the public, and the innovation that each one of them contributes to this office. We ask a lot of our employees, and every one of them has never failed to deliver. There's exceptional talent, and their efforts have made the LA County Assessor's Office the premier assessment agency in the nation, and the work that we do in this office brings meaningful value to people's lives. These successes belong to each and every employee, as well as every resident of LA County. I remain awed by the outstanding professionalism and the willingness for employees to go above and beyond the task at hand. I'd like to conclude with sharing a quick story that resonated with me, which reassured me that that the work we've been doing is making real progress. I was speaking with a political activist from Westchester a couple of years ago, somebody I've known for many, many years. And she said, I've been involved in politics my entire adult life. And she says, I was vaguely aware that we had an assessor and that job was elected. She says, I never knew who they were. And she says, but since you've been doing that job, she says, I feel like I know everything there is to know about that job and what you do and why you do it. And I don't know that there was any compliment that I could have been more proud of, because it tells me that we are serving the people in the way that they deserve to be served. Many of you may have heard me in the past talk about former President Harry Truman. I've always been an admirer of his philosophy of the buck stops here. There's another President Truman quote that I believe is germane to my office. President Truman said, to take full advantage of the increasing possibilities, we must equip ourselves with increasing knowledge. And the assessor's office has worked and will continue to work with every homeowner, every business, and every property owner with the necessary knowledge for them to take full advantage of the resources, services, and benefits to which they are entitled. We will strive towards equality and equity of information, because equality before the law is insufficient if one is unaware of the possibilities. Looking to the future, I fully recognize the importance of the foundational role this office plays in providing vital public services that each and every one of us depends on every day. Those people who provide those services, many of them are sitting in this room on school boards, water boards, and city councils. As we work in partnership with one another to address the concerns our county faces, I am committed to remaining in tune with the major policy issues while continuing our nimble response to the needs of the public and my government colleagues during difficult times of governing. In closing, I offer you this. The letter of the oath today is to fulfill a constitutional charge of fairly and accurately valuing taxable property. But the spirit of the oath is to put forth all of my effort for the well-being and success of the county and all the people who live in it, an aspiration I devote myself to each and every day. I ask those of you here, the employees of the Assessor's Office, the vital agencies that we partner with, and the public to once again commit to join me in the pursuit of excellence in public service, to lead the way so that others may follow and improve the quality of life for everybody who lives in LA County. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Please be seated.
That was like the most exciting assessor speech I ever heard. That was pretty, like, the assessor doesn't have to be boring, you know, right? Really exciting. We're almost done with the program here, and there's going to be a reception here following. I just want to thank you for having me here and offer my personal congratulations to Jeff. I come here not as an anchor and a reporter, but as a personal friend of many years. One of the things that I'm sure all of you experience out there, whenever Jeff Prang's name comes up, they always say, he's just such a nice guy, right? He's a great guy, always trying to do the right thing for people. And you know, people showed up and turned up here because you talk about friendships, and you have a lot of friends out here. So we're all really proud of you, right? And we're all certainly we're just pulling for you because you know, your success is our success. So thanks for having me here. We're going to have a special performance here. You have all met Ray, and I've had the opportunity to meet him over the years too. He is an incredible person as well, and an incredible instructor. He you know, spent time at Fairfax High School and now at Redondo, is pursuing his doctorate. So he's really a mentor to so many children out there. He's a real inspiration. But I think we're gonna bring you guys up here, right, for another musical piece, musical selection. Okay.
I didn't know I was gonna speak, but okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm very proud of my husband Jeff. I'm extremely proud of his work. I noticed when a few campaigns in West Hollywood, he literally walked door to door and talked to people. And so when I knew he was doing the county, I was like, are you gonna try to walk door to door in this county? And it would seem that he did try to do that, because campaigns for the assessor's office are brutal. And I'm extremely proud of the way he's handled those, and he just doesn't give up, he doesn't take it for granted, and I'm just been very proud of his work ethic when it comes to campaigning. So, not sure if you guys knew what a trombone was. Well, you saw 4 of them a little while ago. You're about to see them. But isn't it a beautiful instrument? I'd like to acknowledge my classmates and friends. We have Kevin, Steven, and Rocky. Of course, it's my honor to be a part of this, and I asked my classmates to play. And Jeff and I have a very eclectic taste of music. We just love it all, and I just like, what does one play for this type of event? And so I hope you'll like what we play for Jeff and you guys. We're going to play "Achieved is a Glorious Work" by Franz Joseph Haydn.
That concludes our program. Again, that's the USC Thornton School of Music, Trombone Quartet and Ray. Thank you very much. There is a reception in the council, in the chamber foyer. And I think they're going to be doing some stuff up here, but that concludes the program. Jeff Prang, your new Los Angeles County Assessor. Again.
Let's get a photo. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You're good. Okay, right here.